Okay, everyone, welcome to the webinar. We're going to be highlighting CQGM, CQG mobile application. On the mic with us for this webinar is Stan Yabroff from CQG. Stan, thanks for joining us and showing us some of the new highlights of the CQGM platform. When you're ready, go ahead.
Thank you for having me. What we're going to do is we're going to go over a lot of the functionality, and we're going to emphasize the new stuff, and we're going to get to a point where we, if we have the time, we'll set up a page completely from scratch. But the whole idea is that these are set up with widgets, so you can set up the pages any way you want, and we have a variety of sample pages when you bring the system up. So we're starting off by looking at the quotes. And again, this is not any change from what you've been looking at. And this one actually, we have a bid ask. And the new thing is that these three dots up here will allow us to go up and do almost anything we need to do. If we want to manage columns, we can go down. The ones that are lit up are the ones we already have. If we scroll down, it's all the other ones, and all we have to do is click on it to get it in there. So we can have bid, ask, size on bid, size on ask, a variety of different columns, and they can be edited so that they can be very specific. You can have one or the other. In addition, we added this. Now, in this one, we have what we call a hot order ticket, which is a hybrid order ticket, and I'll go through the functionality there. But in addition to that, we now put buttons up here on the quote spreadsheet. So if you just go on and click on the green, it brings up an order ticket, shows you what the market is, you buy, and it gives you a choice of orders down here, limit orders, join the bid, join the offer, buy the market, click on the sell, and you can go over to sell from here. And that would take less space if space was an issue for you. And again, obviously, if you hit the sell one would open first. So this is the, and you can also go right to a hot from here. That's an order ticket. This one is the hybrid, which is what we have over here, but you can open it now from a button in the quote spreadsheet and not have the space taken for having it open all the time. The advantage to the one that's open is the fact that it's linked. And the linking would relate to the fact that we have these little purple circles up here where you pick your own color and then you link it. And so if I want to take a look at crude, I just click on crude and this becomes crude. The chart at the bottom becomes crude. So with one click, you're looking at the chart and you're looking at the order ticket trading ladder, your choice. We now have a thermometer in here which shows you the day's trading range. The triangle shows where you open. The difference between the red and the blue shows where we are right now. So you can tell that we open close to the high of the day and we're currently trading more toward the bottom of the day. And that's just to give you a quick overview. If you have an open position, there'll also be a mark here showing you that you have a position open in that particular symbol. So that's the quote spreadsheet. Now also, if you're looking at particular things you want to draw your attention, let's highlight crude, and then we can go here and we can just pick a color and it will be that color. If we also want to highlight the S&P, and they may not be sitting right next to each other. Again, you go up to the color and pick another color and it will light up and it can bring your attention to the ones you're trying to follow most readily. To get rid of the color, there's a little reset button on the bottom. You just left click on reset and it'll go back to the color that we originally had. Now, when we look at the charts at the bottom, first of all, when we go to another page, we'll see that when we open the chart, the whole chart opens up. And it's very simple. If you left click here, you can put in any time frame that's here, and you can also customize one. Just for the sake of the argument, I created a 13-minute bar chart, and I just click on it, and I have a 13-minute bar chart as soon as it comes back in. The studies now, the parameters are all right here, so you can left click here, and this shows you the studies that are on it. It also lets you put in daily values up here, and a thermometer on there if you choose to put that up. If you want to add stuff, oh, by the way, if you go over here and hit the down arrow, you get the parameters. This is a standard Bollinger Band, 22 standard deviations. And you can put that in on all of them from here. If you want to add study, you just slide over to the right. And these are all the ones I used recently. These are all the other studies. And you can also put them in, and I'll show you where we can link them and have them go on all charts at one time. I have a page with 4 charts, and we'll take a look at it there. So you have all of your studies right here at hand. In addition to that, we can go right over here to the study. Here's Bollinger Band again. We can left click on it, and again we can link it to the other charts, or we can link it to all charts, or we can remove it from here. Over here tells us the same parameters that we saw from the top, where we can go right from the chart again and put in and change all your parameters. If you take a look, well, on the other one we're going to put moving average cross, but you have the same thing if you wanted to use something else on the MACD other than 12.26.9. You just right click and you can change the parameters right from here. You don't have to go looking for study parameters, and they can be changed for different amounts. For example, on the stochastic here, 10.33 is our default. Sorry, it disappeared. And we could put in here a 13.8, 5. Nice Fibonacci numbers. And it changes the way the stochastic looks. It's now much smoother and gives you different trading indicators. So you can change those right from here. And you can also, as I said, if you have multiple charts, you can also put them on all of the charts at the same time. So adding studies and being able to change the parameters is an improved feature, a new feature. I will go over here real quick and show you the chart page. It does take a second to populate on this particular computer. I set up a page here where I have all the stock indices. So I have the NASDAQ on an hourly. I have a 5-minute chart on the Dow, a 60-minute chart on the Russell, and a 60-minute on the S&P. And you can see that I could go in here where I have moving averages, and I can go over and hit the parameters, and I could change these. Right now they're 4,918, we could use the standard 50, 100, 200, or 50, 121. And you can just click on that, and now you have here's the 100-day moving average that they like to use. And I could do all charts on this page, and now all of the parts on the moving average crosses are now set at 50, 100, 21, 50, 100. And I changed them all from 1. To add a study, we can go to the study button here, right here, and we can hit add study. And again, we can put up everything, any of the studies that we have up here. Let's just put up an RSI. And we can add an RSI there. And we could go here, and we could put them on all the charts. And now we have an RSI on each of the charts as well. So we've made it a lot easier. You can put up multiple charts with different symbols. We can put up multiple charts with the same symbol in different time frames, whatever the user would like to look at. If we also look at the bottom, you'll notice these little marks at the bottom. Those will tell you the different sessions. We now mark the sessions on each of the charts. So again, easier to identify what we're doing. And I like the idea again of the custom time sessions, and I find that to be very, very useful. Not everybody uses the standard ones, so you get a lot of flexibility. Again, let's do it here. You go down to 60, and then you have the normal ones that we give you, but now left click on custom, and again, you can put in anything that you want and have a custom time frame. And you'll notice it should come up when I put this up. It did before. I guess it didn't this time. When I created a 13, it came up on the chart card because I set it up on that one. So here's a 13-minute, and now when I go to the down, I'm sorry. If you go down, you have a 13-minute. It's there. So if a person likes to use it continually, then you have the 13-minute will show. So we're allowing you to add your custom time frames. Okay, I'm going to go back to the original one, and again, we're going to spend more time on some of these after I make sure that we've covered all of the new settings. I want to make sure we go over a lot of our setting up functions and all of the preferences and things that you can set. So again, this is what we call the hot. It's a hybrid. Now, what makes this a hybrid is the fact that if I want to sell one of the S&P, even though it may be closed at this point, yeah, it is, I can either click on this, and notice the button came up that says sell one at 215.50 and a half. I can buy one at a stop order at that level at the same time, and so I can put in my orders from here, or I can do what we did before, which would be to just drop it over and then let go, and now it tells me that I'm selling one day limit, selling an S&P at that price. So you can place the order either by buttons or by sliding it over. In addition, you can take these buttons, put them wherever you're comfortable with. This is putting them at top. Now you still have all the same things. You have your market orders, sell market, and again, this is at 14, so we're at the market. So you're selling one at that price, or we're buying one at that price. And again, you have buying at the market over here. So you have all your chart types. You can place the buttons on the top, the bottom, the right, the left. Most of the time, they either put them on the right or the top. But we can put them at the bottom and see what that looks like. And again, everything is there, but it's set up differently. Now, if we go to our preferences at the left, bottom left, and we can go down, and we have a button now here that says enable park or activate functionality, and I turned it on. And what that does is it gives me a way to park an order. Parking means I'm putting it in my, it's all set, but not sent to the exchange yet. So I can click on this and I can go over here, place this, and then if you'll notice, I can then, before I go there, let me show you, I can then set it up to activate in 5 minutes, activate in 10 minutes, activate in 15. I'm just parking it. And if I now go to my orders and positions, you'll see that I have the S&P and it's parked, waiting for me. Now over here, I can hit the down arrow and it says activate immediately, activate in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or customize your activation. So you can set it up to activate it at any time you want. So if you have a position on and you want to make sure that you want to place some sort of an order, you can do that and it works perfectly. So that's one of the new functions in this, is the ability to park your orders. Sorry for the fact that it takes a little bit longer to populate. On this machine. The other thing that I like on this is we can put in an OCO and we hit start. And then let's say we have a long position, we can go up here and we can drag this over and put in a sell limit. Go down here and put in a sell stop. Of course, you have to be able to grab it. Hit stop. And it's telling you that we're now putting in 2 orders. We're putting in a sell limit above the market. We're putting in a sell stop. And whichever one gets filled first, obviously, the other one is canceled. So it allows you to do the OCO on this interface as well. And I can place the orders even though the market's not open right now. And again, if we go to the orders and positions, which we'll go to again in a minute, we'll see that you have those as working orders, and you can see them on the chart. By the way, on the same chart, I can click from chart to volume, and this is going to show me the volume. I probably should have the crude oil up instead of EP since it's not trading right now. But this shows you the volume. It also tells you that we're 77% higher than yesterday's volume at this time, and because it's just about the end of the trading day, 76% of yesterday's total volume. This also shows you the volume now at 4:30. It shows you the volume 10 minutes ago and the volume 15 minutes ago. So it's telling you what's happened to the volume over the last 3 bars. So you have a bar comparison. And then for a lot of your customers that may not know all of the specifications, we have the C-spec right here. Tells you what it is, what the smallest increment is, what that's worth. And then back to the charts. Something else that we've added that's new on the hot order ticket is on the bottom we have a cancel all, which would cancel all orders. And we have a order that if you have an open position, you can click on that and it will automatically create a ticket to liquidate that position. So this is a cancel all orders. This one is go flat. The little circle down here, by the way, centers the ladder so that it's always in the middle. So that's also among the new features that we have here. Now, while I'm here, I just want to go over by opening this up, we have choices here, and that's these 3 dots. Separate bids and offers, recent trade sequence, and then show the cancel all or go flat. This is where you decide where you add the actual buttons. If you go over to the quote one and open that one, you have, this is the American demo that we have in there. It's the name of the list. We can add symbols if it's not locked in. This one happens to be locked. Edit symbols. This shows you that you can now open lists, make lists, and a lot of the demo list, here's a curve of all of the crude, Brent crude from ICE. Here's the Brent WTI futures. And you can just populate the quote spreadsheet with whatever any of these groups that you might want to do. And there's a whole bunch of lists that are in there to show you. You can also see, when we get down to the bottom, there's one that it's shown as my list. And that was one that I created. So you also, it makes it easier to populate your charts. It makes it easier to work. What I'm showing you now is the options window. Now what we have here is the options monitor, where you have the strike prices going down the middle, and then you have your choices of columns left and right. And again, I have them linked to an order ticket, a hot hybrid order ticket. And that will make it easier to trade and look at. There's your order ticket. While this is filling in, you'll notice at the bottom we have open interest, and you can see where the open interest is. So right now you can see that there's a lot at 2400 to 2440 on the call side, and a lot on the put side, and you can see where the open interest is, where the activity is on the one that opens up. What's going to come up here when it opens up is we've taken all of the option series that are connected in this case to the EP, and we have the weekly options, and we have the monthly options, we have the end of month options, and they're just tabs along the top, so it's easy to pull them up. Okay, this is the orders and positions page, and I clicked on orders, and these are all the orders I played with today. Canceled, parked, working, that was the OCO. You can left click on this and we can put them in. These are already working orders. This is a time and sales. It's now set up as a quote spreadsheet, so you can again click the top and you can see here that this is happens to be copper. And you can see the trades that are being made. Here's your open position, so that's always an important aspect. I don't have anything open right now. The P&Ss and your account summaries. And again, you can add more to it. And you can see here you have orders, working orders, filled orders, canceled orders, fills, and I've set up most of them already. And then you can just use the tabs on the top. This happens to also allow you to put in a chart that happens to be there, so I just clicked it in. And again, you have all of the functionality that you would have here. So that's your orders and positions now can be customized. We also have the standard one that is in the that you've seen before, but this one is more functional, has more functionality, I think, and takes a lot less space to demonstrate, to show you. So, and again, we can put in working orders or fills, and you just click on that, and then you can go to fills if you have any. Again, I didn't put any in, and it's getting late in the day. Okay, so they open up with the at the monies, obviously with a bar going across the top. And again, as I was pointing out, this is S&P, but you have different symbols up here for the different types. This is EW, which is end of month. This is the first week of the month, so that would be June. And it keeps going, and then they're coming up now with options. Basically, they have options that expire on Monday, expire on Wednesday, on Friday. EP, the actual EP one would be June. And actually, I don't even see it at this point because it's got so many of the other ones now. There. And this is the EP that this is your monthly one. So we try to make it efficient. It's based on days to expiration, and it has all of the different types. And you can again put in anything that you want here. We can go back up to the dots up here and manage columns, and you can put this in. You can actually put this in bids and offers, and these numbers will come up as cash, how much cash it'll cost you. So I'm going to take a chance and not put those in right now because I don't want it to start the circle again. But you could actually put these in as cash. These are heat mapped to show you which options traded the highest volume, which in this case would have been the 2450 call would be the highest one. And again, this is your big one, so you have a lot more spread out here, but you can see, you can get in there and actually see where the open interest is and which ones are the highest here. And you have active range. You could put the all range. I put in the active. You can also change this to volume and open interest. I like the open interest because I want to know where people are, especially as you approach expiration. And then again, as any place else, if I click here, it's going to come up with the 2415 put. And you can see the bid ask. Remember, they're just opening up again. And if the functionality is the same, buy market, sell market, join the offer, join the bid. You have all of these, and again, you can see where this is a little squeezed. Go up here and put them on the top or the bottom, and you now have all of the view. You can see all of the functionality there. You might have to move it over a little and give it a little bit more space. But this shows you all this. Here's your size of the options. So all of that is now easily reachable. And again, they're linked, so you click it, and that will open up the page. What I'd like to do is go to the plus, and I'm going to put in an empty page. And we'll just call it, and there's no widgets. So the first thing I want to do is put up a quote widget. And I want to put up a quote. And we'll put in some, and again, a lot of these are closed. So, okay, we'll just put up those. And so we can create our own list, or as we saw before, we could go in here and we could actually go into open list and pick one that was already opened. And we could put those in. So it's up to you. Most cases, people will put in the ones that they want to use. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back up here, and we're going to manage columns. So right now we have last trade, bid ask, and net change. So I like to put, if we're going to be using this for trading, then I'd like to just go volume and volume, and then go back up here, and we can take this and move it up above the bid, move this there, and hit close. And now I have, for example, in the crude, 48.79 bid at 80, 14 on the offer, 34 on the bid. So we can set that up any way that we want to. And again, if we go in now, if space is an issue, we could sit this here and we could just hit hot, and we could open this when we wanted to make a trade, and it would open up to whichever one that we had highlighted. So you could actually leave the space there. You can also go in here, maybe give yourself a little more space, resize the fit columns, and you can put in percent change in here, anything you want. Now we can go down here and we can put in a chart, and let's put in candlesticks. And let's just go down here. There we go. And then we go up here, and we're going to link widgets. So I'm going to click this, pick a color, go down here, pick the same color, and they're linked. So now I want S&P, crude oil, and then again we can go down here and we can add a study, and we can go in and say, okay, I want to put in an RSI. We'll put up a Bollinger Band. And if we're looking at a day trading type of thing, we may want to go in and change this and go back to what I had originally, which is 4918. So you have your, I guess the others didn't go in here. You have here your 4918. Click on the study again. We'll put up a Bollinger Band. And put up a stochastic just for the... And we have the studies that we put up. We can change the time frame again as we see fit. And for, let's just say we're doing a 5-minute chart. And then once we set, we can go down here and see what. Now, if we choose not to open up and we want to have our trading interface open all the time, we can go down here, left click on trading, put up the hybrid, and then just move it over to here. And for now, we'll just put up EP because we're going to link it. Center it. And again, we can set this up what we want. It's a little bit easier to drag the widgets. I didn't get it centered perfectly, but so you've set up your own page now with your own symbols. But we haven't gone over this, but just to look at the preferences that you can set up. This is for the whole system. And under trading, you can have warnings. This we call a fat finger warning. If you don't normally ever trade more than 10 lots, you can put 10 lots in here. If you don't hold a position of more than 20 lots, you can put that in, and it will give you a warning. Whether the trade goes in or not is still completely controlled by the FCM, by AMP. But this is a fat finger so that you don't put in too many. And you can then turn on the separate bids and asks, the order history, recent trade sequences, and they can either go on or come off. OCO. And you can go down, and there's a lot of things here that are you can put on. This is probably an interesting one to at least discuss, in that this can be turned on or off. If you turn it off, it just goes first in, first out. If this is turned on, it matches the interday trades before it matches the overnights. So you may be in and out, and it may show that a trade you put on a couple days ago is still there, because you traded 20 in and 20 out during that day. That can be turned on or off. Again, I had it turned on, and that you can also set your confirmations here on or off. New, cancel, modified, order fills, partial fills. And it just sets up all of your orders and all of the customization of your system. That's not new. It's just I'm just going over the functionality here. We have a symbols list over here. Now we can also take a look at some of the other things here. For example, this is a heat map. We only have 3, but it will show you the different things that are typed. It shows you the percent move. The larger the heat map, the more active that particular contract was. Crude oil right now is the busiest since we put it on, not for the day, obviously. But I find this to be the most useful, is the one that we all use, which is a QSS. But there, some people like the quote board, which puts you in a little square. They're all the same. Shows you open, high, low, last, and the change for the day. It's also a little small there. But again, it's the choice of the user. They have all kinds of different choices. I use the quote spreadsheet. Again, this is called the options monitor, and that's with the strike price in the middle, the calls on one side, the puts on the other. And like everything we've shown as we've gone through this, you can customize it any way you want. So you have the strike prices here, and then you have your bid ask on the calls, volume, and then the puts are on this side with the volume as well. So that's, again, an options monitor. and we've put in all the related option series in order of days to expiration. And clearly, again, with the S&P, which I said before, they now have a weekly that expires on Monday, a weekly that expires on Wednesday. They have a weekly that expires on Friday, in addition to the regular quarterly options that we have. I think I've covered what I had intended to cover. By the way, you see over here when you're starting a new page, you can just left click on Chart, on Quote, Trade, Interface, Options, and you can set up, this is just help to make it easy to set up a new page and move the widgets around to set it up the way you want to.